What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in on today's video. Last weekend we did not have a video. That is because we have been busting butt trying to get all of the insulation up, which we are completely done getting the rest of the insulation up top there. We got some of our banners hung back up over there. We've had to move a bunch of stuff around, but so last weekend I was kind of booked up with doing that stuff, so I wasn't able to get a video out. Today's video is a big one, and we're going to be going over everything for the race truck engine, where the progress is, what's the plan is going forward. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. So that's what today's video is going to be all about. Now, before we dive into the race truck engine and what our plans are, I want to mention a couple things here. The up pipes, I've gotten a lot of questions about when those will be back in stock. I expect about 2 weeks for the up pipes to come back in stock. You can still order them on the website. It's not going to be a bad idea if you guys want to go ahead over there and do that, because I've seriously gotten quite a bit of interest in purchasing those once they come back in stock. So if you want to get on the list and make sure you guys can get one as soon as they come back in stock. I will have approximately 5 to 10 up pipes available when they do come back in stock. So make sure you guys head over there and get your name on the list. That way you guys can be the first ones to get them shipped out, and I can get them to you guys. As always, guys, everything on the website is free shipping. Don't forget to pick up a cool Left Lane Diesels shirt, sweatshirt, sticker, everything like that. If you buy up pipes, if you buy any of the truck parts, it comes with a free sticker, and like I said, free shipping to the lower 48. So thank you guys for all of your support. All right, guys, so we have developed our list here of what it's going to take to get the long block of the engine together. I'm going to talk about what our plans are in order to get all the parts we're going to be using, as well as, obviously, you guys know we're going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing it right here in the barn, and you know, some of the stuff I'm going to have to send out, like the machine work and stuff. So, but I'm going to kind of go over all of the parts and the process that we're going to use to get this engine together, as well as some of the parts that we actually already have. So, yeah, I'm super excited about this. I wanted to make this video so that we had something to kind of keep track of the parts that we're ordering, because until every one of these pieces on here has a check mark next to it, we're not going to send the block out to get machined until all of this stuff is in and ready to go. So let's start off right up here at the top here. We have ARP main studs. The ARP main studs is what's going to be holding down our bed plate and torquing everything there for our crankshaft. And so in order to run ARP main studs, you are going to have to get the crank bore aligned honed with the main studs. The main studs put such a high load on the block that the bore for the crankshaft needs to be honed out to make sure that it is true. So that's a very important thing to do if you want to run main studs. So we got main studs up there. We've got, of course, we got all the bearings and seals that it's going to be associated. We're probably just going to get a lower end seal kit, and then we're going to be running most likely Mal bearings and everything for that. We are going to be boring the engine over 20 over on the bore, and then we're going to deck the block, dust off the top of the block, and then, of course, align hone for the crankshaft, and we're going to get the crankshaft balanced as well. So moving on from there, the next thing is going to be a Kill Devil Diesel Stage 3 cam. I was considering the Stage 2, but I think we're going to want to stick with the Stage 3. The goal is 1,000 horsepower to the rear tires. So we're going to be going with the Stage 3 cam. One thing to keep in mind when you're picking out a camshaft is it is going to raise your RPMs, your power, where the RPMs are, and for your power curve is going to raise it roughly 400 to 600 RPM. So with a Stage 3 cam, we are going to be up in the RPMs, but we're also going to have a high stall converter. So we want to be in the higher RPMs, and that's where we're going to make our power. So moving on from there, with the KDD Stage 3 cam, we are going to be running Johnson direct oil shot lifters as well, with all new carriers and guides. So that'll be awesome. Hopefully we won't have any sort of lifter issues or anything like that. I think we could get away with OEM ones, but you know what? Might as well go with the Johnson premiums. And then along with that, we will have KDD chromoly push rods as well. Moving on from there, we're going to be running the River City Diesel crankshaft adapter bolts. On the very back of the crank, there's a adapter. They call them the no-no bolts. We are going to be pulling those bolts out and putting in our River City Diesel crankshaft bolts. ARP sells those bolts, but River City Diesel made a few modifications to them to make them better. And so when the time comes, I'll show you guys that. But we're going to be running the River City Diesel adapter bolts. The next thing, fluid damper up front there. Fluid dampener, one of the best in the business. And yeah, that should help take care of any harmonics that we're going to be seeing at 5,000 RPMs. Next thing along with that, we're going to need SFI rated flex plate as well. That's a big one. And then, of course, for our fluid dampener and our flex plate, we're going to have ARP bolts for the front and the back to hold those together and make sure those bolts don't back out. The next thing, the big one here, Cali Assassin rods. Now, there's a lot of rod options out there for these trucks. I know Wagler, Carrillo, but they're roughly like $3,000, $3,500. Being that we're only aiming for 1,000 horsepower right now, the Cali Assassin rods, Ultra Assassin rods, they're relatively new. They just hit the market, and guys are pushing them over 1,500 horsepower with no issues. I want to say right now they run about $1,800. Which is huge savings. They are a forged rod, though, so that is something to keep in mind. But that's what we're going to be running because, like I said, we're only pushing for right around 1,000 horsepower, and then if we want to grow from there, we can. But yeah, I don't see that race truck going over 1,500 anytime soon. So we're going to stick with the kind of the budget rod, if you will. The next thing are the pistons. We're going to be going with Kill Devil Diesel pistons. The pistons will be delipped, and they will be coated with their coating that they have. Because of the Stage 3 cam, we are going to be running a 0.1 valve relief in the top of the piston as well. That way we don't have any sort of contact to the top of the piston with our valves. We are going to be getting a new OEM front cover. With that, we're going to be running the River City Diesel billet low-pressure oil pump gears. That's a big one for any guys that are running over 4,000 RPMs. If you're pushing over 4,000 RPMs, you definitely need to get a billet low pressure pump because that inner gear really likes to come apart. So we're going to be pushing it up to 5,000. So we definitely need to have that in there. The next thing, these are the big ones. This one here is going to be probably the most expensive part of the whole build, but I think it's going to be totally worth it. So we're going to be going with Kill Devil Diesel aluminum Gen 2 heads. So yeah, they're going to be, they're fully aluminum. They're O-ringed. They are ported. And we are also going to be getting the 120-pound springs in them. And we're going to be getting the stainless valve. So top of the line for the head. I don't want to have any sort of issues or failures. And I want to make sure that we can flow all the amount of air that we possibly can. So that one I'm super excited about. That's going to take off quite a bit of weight off the front end of the truck as well. And being two-wheel drive, we want to take as much weight off the front as we possibly can. The next thing, to seal those up, we got ARP 625s. That's going to be a big one for that. And so that kind of wraps up the parts side of it. Just a couple little other things that we're going to be doing. We are going to be welding the cam gear to the camshaft. The reason for that is a lot of times in the higher RPMs, higher horsepower applications, the cam gear likes to try and walk off. So we are going to get that welded on. And then finally, we're going to tap and plug the oil galleys in the front and the back of the engine. Those have little freeze plugs in them, and sometimes they can pop out, and then you get a crank no start. So we're going to be eliminating those and actually tapping the block and installing a threaded plug. So yeah. So as you can see, we have quite the list here. To kind of start off here, we do have our ARP main studs already. We have those. We do have our fluid dampener with the ARP bolts there. We do have that. And we have our SFI rated flex plate as well, with the ARP bolts for that as well. We do have our RCD billet low pressure oil pump too. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 parts out of, I don't know, 20. So we are definitely slowly starting to build these parts, get these parts in. I want to give a huge shout out to TNA Diesel. They're a huge sponsor on this build. Nothing's free in this world, but they are definitely helping me out big time. So I'm super grateful for them and what they're doing. So like I said, guys, we've got quite the list here. A lot of things to get our hands on and get it in stock so that we can start working on this thing. Everything on here has to be ordered and here before we start the process of machining. So we are definitely probably a couple months out on this. I'm not gonna lie. The biggest way you guys can help support this to make it move faster is to head over to the website, link in the description, pick yourself up some merch, get yourself some truck parts. That's the best way you guys can kind of help and support me so that we can get this thing back together. So really exciting, guys. Thank you for all the support. I'm super pumped about it. Can't wait. We just got to keep ordering parts, get the stuff coming in, and before you know it, this engine will be in the race truck. So the next time after we do this, we are gonna go over the list of what our fuel and air modifications will be, so that we can reach that 1,000 horsepower. So coming up for the next couple weeks, because we won't have the engine going, we are going to be doing a lot of other things. So I've got traction bars set up for the daily. We were also going to be doing probably a stereo system in the daily, and I've got some sound deadener for the daily as well. So I've got quite a few little things here and there that we can do in the meantime while we are going to be waiting to get all the parts in for the truck, or for the engine. So a lot of cool content, guys. It's the end of February. The warm weather's coming, so Lord willing, we can spend a little more time out here. Right now in the barn, it's over 50 degrees and it's about 18 outside. So this insulation has made a huge difference. So I'm very happy about that, very psyched. So thank you guys for tuning in on today's video. Like, subscribe, head over to the website, get yourself some stuff. We'll catch you in the next video.